So we are the Hallmarkies podcast, and we are here for a special bonus podcast. We are going to be talking about one of the queens of Hallmark. Today, we're talking about Lacey Chabert, and I am Rachel, and Amber's here.
Hello, everyone.
And we have a special guest here, one of our very good friends of the podcast. We have Emma, the Hallmark, is here to talk about Lacey.
What's up?
Yeah. So you could pick any of the queens that you wanted. You selected Lacey Chabert. Why did you select Lacey Chabert?
I chose Lacey Chabert because there is a warmth about her, and I really do believe her, and I don't always believe every Hallmark actress, so I really appreciate that. Also, she is like cast as a chef or a baker in 6 out of these 12 movies. And I like chefs and bakers. Like I watch Food Network all the time, and I feel like if she had a show, I would just watch it. So I trust her. She's warm, and I love watching her Hallmark movies.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Amber, what do you like about Lacey Chabert as a Hallmark queen?
As a Hallmark queen, because if it was just what I like about Lacey Chabert, I would have been like, because she was like a tiny baby when she started acting, and then she grew up, and I loved it. That doesn't count. #party5. But no, what I really do like that she seems so nice. She just seems like possibly the nicest person on planet Earth. And I feel like that comes across in all of her characters. When her character's even being bratty, I sometimes just don't believe it because I'm like, no way. She's too nice.
I also contacted a fellow podcast that we follow that's called Hallmark and Jess. And this is a podcast put on by a couple named Mark and Jess. And that's all they talk about is Lacey Chabert movies, which is pretty fun. And so I got their rankings, and including ones we won't talk about, they had some non-Hallmark on there. And but I will share their rankings as we go along as well. And I'll have links down to their podcast if people want to check it out. Lacey Chabert has 12 movies from Hallmark. And so she has a lot. And we're going to start with her first role and then go all the way to her current role, her most recent role. So it should be pretty fun. And we're each going to share our thoughts and where they rank for us in our rankings. So the first one is Elevator Girl. And Amber, can you tell us a little about Elevator Girl is about?
Yeah, so Elevator Girl stars Lacey Chabert and Ryan Merriman, aka Luck of the Irish and Smart House. Whoop, whoop, represent Disney Channel. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, completely distracted. But it stars them as sort of an odd couple who fall in love when they both get trapped in an elevator. This was a huge trope that was happening at Hallmark and all those other channels at the time. Like, I'm pretty sure there were at least 10 movies where people got stuck in an elevator and fell in love.
The Christmas Kiss and all that.
Yeah, forget about it. The most happening spot in all of cable television. The elevator.
Yeah.
So they fall in love and they start dating, and she is kind of like she doesn't quite know what she wants to do with her life. It's just like finding her passion kind of girl.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like the super like ambitious stock/business guy. I'm not quite sure what he does. Something in an office. Is he a lawyer? I don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Job.
Yeah, he's just like lots of work. I gotta wear a suit, like a suit job.
Uh-huh.
And it's just sort of them trying to find like, do we work together? Does our relationship work? Because I am so free spirited and have no ambition, and all I have is ambition and goals.
Yeah.
So it's fun. And they have really cute chemistry. And what I really like about this movie is that it like takes place over like months. They like have a relationship that gets to develop and grow. So I really like that about it.
Yeah, me too. We were talking about this with Meet My Mom that we reviewed in Memorial Day. In this sort of era of Hallmark movies, I think they did a better job of showing a complete relationship from the meet cute all the way until, the marriage and whatever. And I appreciate that. I like that. And so Emma, what do you think about this one?
Well, I liked the mini Mean Girl reunion with Lacey Chabert and Jonathan Bennett, and of course I loved the Disney Channel original movie thing. And what I did like is that I kind of felt like it was a male lead. I didn't feel like Lacey was always the lead. And I did root for them to be together. I liked them as a couple, but I thought this movie was really, really slow.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys felt this way, but I couldn't pay attention the whole time, and there were 4 to 5 montages, which tells me that they didn't know how to tell the story really well. I mean, I don't need to see them on bikes and listening to like da-da-da-da-da type music like 5 times. That was my issue with the movie.
Interesting.
So I feel kind of mean. I hate starting it out this way.
Well, it's the first one.
Fine. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
It's very interesting to see the evolution that Hallmark went through.
Right.
Because really from up until about 2011, the Hallmark movies were way different.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure when that happened. It might have been when they cut ties with what's his face?
Larry Levinson.
But they were very different. They were kind of all like, I don't know. They felt less like lower quality kind of. But still really fun and delightful. And this was definitely back in like the early era of Hallmark rom-coms. That being said, they did have a million montages in all of those movies, and I love montages. Like, to me, montages are like tiny little music videos of love. So I just am like, let's do it again. Put in some Bublé this time. Like,
I guess that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But I'm not there.
But it's not for you, Emma.
Yeah,
you're a wordy person. You have a blog, not a vlog.
Right.
Right. I actually really love this one. I think that he is one of the most well-developed men who love business ever that they've ever done. Like, you really are almost rooting more for him than for her. Like, he's pretty reasonable in the conflict that he you know that happens. He's like reasonable, and you know he's just trying to get her to pick something and to finish something, and you know he's worried that they really are just too different, and that's a total understandable worry. And I don't know, I just think I think they have really good chemistry, and I think it's pretty well written, and I guess I didn't really bother. Montages, I guess, are my thing too. So you might be shocked where I have this, but Amber, where did you rank this?
I have this ranked number 4 on my list. Emma, don't be bad. Don't be sad if you have it 12th. It's fine.
It is not 12th. You know what is 12.
I mean, I don't know, but I would be surprised.
It's 11.
11. Interesting.
11.
I'm going to say it's number 1 for me. It's my favorite. I think as far as her being a fully fleshed out character that I feel like is actual real and goes through a whole character arc, and I think that the relationship feels like something that could actually happen, and I think I don't know, I just think it's the most like authentic movie, and so it's my favorite.
Well, now I feel bad, and I feel kind of convinced.
No.
So easily swayed. I'm like,
we're not trying to convince you, Emma.
I know.
I like that we have different lists. That's what makes it fun. So there you go.
I did root for them as a couple, though. I just thought the story was very slow for me. So
yeah, no, and I mean I can see that, but I feel like I really can see where you're coming from, because honestly, just as a whole, if I'm just looking at them like straight up compared to them, which I should be, but I'm taking into account the history of the era. I feel like all of those movies from like 2011 and forward were just not at the same level as they are now. I mean, right now it's like point A, point B, point C, point C, point E, put in some D because that's how the alphabet works. And then...
Well, what do you mean on the same level? You're talking like production value?
Yeah, like production values. It's definitely the production value was definitely lesser. I don't know what's the correct term.
That's fair.
In these movies. And I think
fair.
You can even just feel it in the way that the storyline progresses, and they don't know, what works for a female lead and what really is the standard for a male lead. And you can see that they're sort of playing with the formula.
Right.
So I can see why it would be, 11 for you. It's not 11 for me, but I can see where you would get that. Sure. So don't feel bad, Emma.
Thank you for understanding.
And stick to your guns, for Pete's sake.
I will. Yes. I will stand up for myself.
Good. All right. So let's move on. So let's talk about the next in her lineup. This is Matchmaker Santa. This is the movie where she is trying to get to her fiance, and she ends up getting stuck in this town. She can't get to him, but there is this, she's a baker, of course, and there is this assistant of her fiance who is is also stuck in the town and has been super helpful. Like if her fiance wants to send flowers, they're usually like selected by him. And so anyway, he's like in love with her, and it goes kind of back and forth, and it has Florence Henderson in it, and just a lot of fun. It has obviously a matchmaker Santa who's up to shenanigans. This was 2012. And Amber, what do you think about this one?
I love this one. It features the best Hallmark Santa in the history of Hallmark. Second only to a possible Jonathan Adams Santa. And it is so cute. I love how well taken care of the characters are. I mean, because this is the trope of like, oh, I have a boyfriend and I'm kind of cheating on him, but I'm not really. Because you don't feel bad about her boyfriend or whatever. You know that when they have that talk, everyone's like, this is great because we're all in love with other people and nobody's sad. And it won't even be awkward because we'll be just friends for life. Hooray. I love it. And Santa took such good care of those people. And I love a meddling Santa and magic. Matchmaker Santa is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. So it's so good. I love everything. Yeah. And it's where they first discover, Lacey Chabert in a kitchen. That's where she needs to be.
Yeah, right.
And I'm pretty sure, even at the ones where she's not a baker, like you said, Emma, they have her bake something.
Yeah,
I know. Right?
I mean, even in Elevator Girl, they made food, right?
Yeah.
And well, I think she chef, like, kind of.
Yeah,
like she was like a kind of everything.
Yeah, it's like one of her many jobs is doing catering I think, or something like that. That's how they meet, is she's doing catering.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's really cute. I agree with you. It's just really charming, and it does the whole cheating whatever kind of thing, because like they're both getting to know these other people, and like both the fiance and her, and you see both of their arcs, kind of. So it makes it more forgivable, I think. It's done pretty well, and like the Florence Henderson and the other older women are a lot of fun.
Yeah, the townspeople are great.
Yeah.
Emma.
So yeah, what do you think of this one, Emma?
Oh, I love it. I love it
good.
Much. You have no idea. I agree. It's the best Hallmark Santa. No contest for me, unless they would do a Jonathan Adams Santa that might edge him. I know there's no way. I can't believe I don't own it. I watch it multiple times when they re-show it. Every countdown to Christmas. There's a bear. Like, what? Why is there a bear in this movie? This makes me so happy.
Yeah, because Santa was like, I'm gonna keep them in that house. Let me put a bear out there.
Santa used a bear. Like, that's just so funny.
He's the wiliest of Santas.
And like, I love the lead. Dean is like, I don't know. He's an awesome. I just loved him, and he wore those goofy pajamas, and I always think that's so cute when they like the guys like, I don't have anything to wear, and they wear like these patchwork pajamas. I just think that's hilarious. But oh, I just love it. There's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm being hugged by this movie. I just love it so much.
Cool. So where do you have it ranked?
Oh, numero uno.
Nice.
I've never spoken Spanish before. Number one.
It transported you.
I just like, oh, I guess I know Spanish now. Probably not.
Amber, what about you? Where do you have it?
I actually have this surprisingly in second place.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
only time will tell where it lands.
I'm so curious.
Ooh. So I have it at 5th place, and it's not really because I have any problems with it. I just like 4 others a little bit better. It's really cute. I enjoy it. It is number 1 for Jess from Hallmark and Jess, and it is number 4 for Mark from Hallmark and Jess. So there you go. All right, let's talk about The Color of Rain. So this is a movie based on a true story about 2 people that are widowed, and they kind of end up coming to contact with each other. They knew each other just a little bit, but not that much. And because they want to help each other through this grieving period, they both have kids, and just basically about their relationship. Christy, who's in a bunch of Hallmark movies, and Lacey Chabert. And it is, so I went into this with kind of a bad attitude. I was like, oh, it's like, and I ended up being kind of charmed by it. I thought that they were really sweet. And, at the end, they show their real family, and they're like this Brady Bunch, and they're really cute. And the beginning is pretty tough and melodramatic and stuff, but like, it is what really happened to them. Like, this does happen to people, and people have sad things. And I thought that it felt pretty emotionally true. And I thought they had enough sort of cute moments to kind of, with the kids and going camping and stuff like that, to kind of break up some of that intensity. And I was surprised how much I liked it. Mm-hmm. So that was me. What about you, Emma?
I didn't know what to think at all, but 15 seconds in, I was bawling for like the rest of the movie. Because this is like one of my worst nightmares, and I worry about it a lot. So it's just like seeing how the kids were reacting, and it was so sad, but I felt like it was handled really well. I feel like they're very careful with the story, and I felt like they weren't trying to make us cry. I didn't feel manipulated. I just really feel like they're trying to share their story, and I did enjoy it, but I did have to like doodle like while I watched it, because I was just so upset the whole time. I was so sad. But I thought they did a good job with this movie.
So Amber, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's a well done movie, but Amber does not like to cry in movies. And like, if spouses and parents die in movies, like, it better be before the movie happens and we don't talk about it. Like, we can go Full House in this business or Brady Bunch in this business, but like, let's not be sad. So it's not for me. But it was really good, and for like, I just won't watch it again. I won't put myself through it again. So if I'm not going to rewatch something, it gets a lower ranking than movies that I will watch constantly, anytime.
Fair enough.
I will never watch this again.
So Emma, where do you have it ranked?
I have it ranked 8th.
Okay. Amber?
You mean Ocho?
Yes. Yes. Maybe.
I have this ranked 9th.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I have it at 6.
Yeah. I mean, it is really good, but it's just like, I will always put a sad movie lower than a happy movie.
Yeah, I watch Hallmark movies to escape and like smile. So that's why it got lower, even though it was like better made than some of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't even like a Hallmark Hall of Fame, was it?
It was a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Yeah,
I don't know if that kind of changes a little bit.
But yeah, I thought that they did kind of top load most of the sad stuff at the beginning.
Well,
Pretty
but
well.
you can't get me down, and then expect me to be like, it's fine. Like,
Yeah, I was traumatized and there was no coming back.
Fair enough. Okay.
And they're crying.
All right. Next, we have A Royal Christmas,
Mhm.
which is Lacey's princess movie. Similar to Royally Ever After. She finds out that her boyfriend is a prince, and she has to go and meet the family. And the queen is Jane Seymour. And there you go. It's pretty fun.
There you go.
Emma, what do you think?
I don't like seeing my Jane Seymour as anything other than Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Like Wedding Crashers, that was traumatizing. And then now she's like me.
What about Jane Seymour in Somewhere in Time, though?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
What?
Don't look at me like that.
You might want to watch the James Bond that she was
I just know her as Dr. Quinn.
Okay, fine. But you should watch Somewhere in Time.
Okay.
Also, there's a great version of the Scarlet Pimpernel that she's in that's really fun.
Oh, she's so good in that Scarlet Pimpernel.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, to be fair, she's fine in that Scarlet Pimpernel, but that Scarlet Pimpernel is so good.
Yeah.
I'm like lost, so I guess I'm gonna have to look some stuff up.
You really.
It is a lot of fun. That Scarlet Pimpernel. We should talk about that one of these days on the podcast. But anyway, Amber,
sorry. Back to Emma's actually speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I never rewatched this one.
Okay.
And that, like we said, like you said, Amber, if you don't rewatch it, then it's lower on your list. This is so superficial, but it just kind of seemed cheap to me. Like she's supposed to be a seamstress and I didn't really like the clothes. And okay, so this is how I see it. Hallmark is in its own little bubble. There's the Hallmark universe and it's far from reality. And then you throw in a fake country and then like fake jewelry and then just like clothes that aren't like super high designer, and it takes me even further out. So I don't usually enjoy the royal movies, but I do think they're doing better now because they're actually going to like Romania and Ireland and stuff. But I'm sorry to be rude, but
I know you're fine.
I'm not really into the royal movies and this one. So
yeah. Wait, so Amber, what do you think about this one?
It's not my favorite. I kind of hate a lot of the royal movies too.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just because I feel like they're all the exact same, and I don't think any of them for the most part really do it well. You know? For me, the gold standard of royal movies is The Slipper and the Rose from the 70s, which is just the best. It's the best Cinderella movie, first of all. And
it's good.
All princess movies at heart are basically a Cinderella movie if the girl doesn't start out as the royal person, right? Even if they're like, oh, I've inherited the title or whatever. That's a Cinderella movie. And like Princess Diaries is a Cinderella movie. And they need to do it well in order for me to really get behind it. And I don't really feel like they did it well. And like, I am a royalist. Like, I follow what royalty should be. And I don't feel like they get a lot of that right a lot of the time. So it does, meh. That being said, I thought he is so adorable in this movie. The prince of my heart. And Lacey Chabert is always cute.
Right.
But, you know, it wasn't my favorite.
So this one for me, I love Cinderella's movies. Yeah. I just think it's just one of my favorite things. I love seeing how like, I love like seeing how one story and how different people can like do it in different ways. You know, like I love that about watching all these different versions of Christmas Carol. I think that's really fun. And I love that about Cinderella, whether it's like another Cinderella story, whether it's Slipper and the Rose, whether it's the animated one, whether it's whatever. I think I just really like it. And I like how Cinderella is like really at its heart, it's a story about hope and how if you're a good person and you work hard, good things will happen to you, you know, that you will be rescued. So I really respond to it. I really like it. Obviously my favorite is the Disney animated film because I'm a huge Disney nerd. But my favorite from Hallmark is still A Crown for Christmas, even after this year. I just think it's the best one. And then Smooch is probably my second favorite. But I think this one is cute. I like it. I think that Jane Seymour's pretty good. I think they have pretty good chemistry. I didn't really notice any problems with the clothes. I enjoyed it. So I have this ranked at number 7.
Me too.
Oh, you do? 7?
Yeah.
What about you, Amber?
It's number 7.
For real?
Yeah.
No. Mark and Jess. Mark has A Royal Christmas at number 2, and Jess has it at number 5. So we have All of My Heart, and this is really sweet. Amber, why don't you tell just a brief explanation of what this movie's about?
Okay, so All of My Heart, Lacey Chabert and Brennan Elliott both inherit this inn. I guess it wasn't an inn. Was it an inn? It was just this house.
Yeah, from their aunt.
And Lacey Chabert's like, oh, I am not cutting it as a chef. I'm gonna stay here and have this inn. And he was like, fine, I want to sell this and go back to my fancy job in New York. And he gets like fired, or something. So they end up having to like stay there, work together, work it out, and they fall in love. It's cute. There's goats. It's adorable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, All of My Heart is really, really good. They have it's completely predictable. We've seen this so many times with people having to share a house kind of thing, but they have great chemistry together. And so I think it really works. And there's lots of fun scenes of them doing like the repairs on the house and stuff like that. And so I have it pretty high. I have it at 4 in my ranking. What about you, Emma?
Well, I never ever wanted to see this movie, and I loved it. Like, I was never a #Brenny because I saw him in Unreal, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Chris Harrison. This is terrible. And I just saw him as like, gross. But that was bad because I thought he was being a character. But I loved him in this. I'm a part-time Brenny now, I think. Because he does the comedy really, really well. Like, I believed him. I thought he was hilarious. And Lacey Chabert was really funny too. And there were goats. And I don't know, I just fell for it. Like, even when they didn't like each other and they were bickering, it wasn't like, she wasn't shrill. She wasn't like, I can't think of the word. She didn't seem like a brat. Yeah. And I don't know, I loved everything about it. And then they have this buff Al Borland. Did anyone like that really tall guy is just like a buff Al Borland from Home Improvement? I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah. And Ed Asner's in it. He's fun.
It's great.
Yeah, Amber, what do you think about this one?
No, I really like it. It's super good. It's amazing. They have really cute chemistry. Their storyline's cute. They have baby goats.
Yeah.
It ends with a proposal. I mean, it's amazing.
So where do you have this ranked, Amber?
I have this ranked at number 5.
Okay. And Emma?
2.
Great. Okay.
Dose. Why did I start?
Okay. Next, we have...
Rachel, where do you have it ranked? Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I have it at 4.
4. Okay.
All of mine are at 4. Okay. So next, we have A Family for Christmas. And this, I think, is a really cute take on The Family Man, the kind of movie with Nicolas Cage where he wakes up and he is living this alternative life of this relationship from college. It's basically the same thing here with Lacey Chabert. And, but she, obviously it's a woman waking up. She has she chose this path of work and over this particular boyfriend. And she wakes up and she's married to this guy, and she has these girls. And I really, this was in my top 12 of all time Hallmark movies when we did our list back last year. I really like it. I think it's really charming, and I think it's funny, and I think it's sweet. And I love stories about people like switching bodies or switching places or things like that. I love that. And so this was just right up my alley. So I really like it. What about you, Amber?
Oh, okay. I really love this movie. Like you, I do like oh, look at that. I have a family and I love my fake children. Like I dream of the day when I get to have this.
Yeah.
Like it would be amazing to just wake up one day and be like, boom, look, you have a handsome husband and some adorable children. I'd be like, best day ever. I wouldn't freak out like the ladies do. That's probably what won't happen to me. Also, because magic isn't real and love is dead. But I really love it. And the guy, Tyrone Lightso, who plays her husband in this, I love him. Mm-hmm. He was in Wonder Falls, and he is a dreamboat, and he's my favorite person. Mm-hmm. And he's in another one, which is not good. He's in My Boyfriend's Dogs, and I don't like that movie. Mm. And he's also in Being Erica, which, as you know, I talk about all the time. Canadian show. Anyway, so I just love this movie. I love so much about it. Everything.
Emma, what do you think?
Okay, so I'm glad I rewatched it because I don't remember liking it. But then I rewatched and I thought, why didn't I like this? This was definitely Lacey Chabert's funniest role. Mm-hmm. Thought she was being hilarious. And I never mentioned the children ever. But these kids were great.
Yeah.
I loved the way they're responding to her, and I was really impressed with that. My only issue with it is that they said the only thing you can really love is your career if that's the job she was going to have, and I always want people to have everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was pleasantly surprised because I was worried that it would end up she would just be in that life and miss her children's life before, as them growing, aging and stuff. So I like it. I just have those small issues with it.
They, over at the Hallmark and Jess, they also had those issues with her feeling well, it's either pick being a homemaker or you pick working, one or the other, dichotomy. So they're very low on it. They have it at Jess has it at 8. And I think they both actually have it at 8. So there you go, out of their list. So yeah, they both have it at 8. So there you go. For me, I have it at 3, but it's the highest of her Christmas movies for me. It's my favorite. Okay. What about you, Amber?
I also have it at number 3.
And Emma, yeah. Sorry.
I have it at 4. So, I really did like it a lot. It was just that little part at the end. I was like, eh. But
yeah. I can understand that. I can understand that. All right. So, next we had A Christmas Melody. And in this, she plays a mom who is coming back home. And she's divorced. And she was a designer. She comes back. And Brennan Elliott is there, and the Mariah Carey plays the head of the PTA. This movie is directed by Mariah Carey. This movie is not for me. I know a lot of people really like it, including our friend William Bibiani. He really loves it. But I felt I don't know. I felt it's not Lacey Chabert's fault. It's really not Brennan Elliott's fault. They were fine. They did what was asked of them perfectly well, I think. But it just the weirdest part for me in this movie is this long segment where the daughter sings this really odd song at this talent show. It's this sort of I was is this sort of an homage to Mean Girls and the their song in Mean Girls, because it was kind of sexy, and I'm this is a little girl, it's so weird. I don't understand what's happening. And yeah, it was tough for me. It was tough. But,
well, did you know that, okay, this is just IMDb saying this, but Mariah Carey's favorite movie is Mean Girls. Yeah. And she said that Lacey Chabert is her favorite actress, so that's why she got cast in it. And you're probably right, because I there were parts where she was kind of directing her kid from the sign language how to act. And it's like, is she trying to be Amy Poehler in that movie? Like, is she wanting this to be Mean Girls?
It was really weird. I don't know. It just didn't work for me, this movie. And Mariah Carey's hardly in the movie at all, really, which I guess that could be a plus, but you'd think that she'd at least sing something.
Right.
Like if there's going to be a talent show and you have Mariah Carey in your movie and Mariah Carey directing your movie, you think you'd get a nice little...
Well, that was her song. So, like, the weirdest part of the movie for me is that Brennan Elliott and this daughter are writing a song that's already popular and acting like it's a brand new song.
Yeah.
That's what,
right.
That's what really gets me. And then I feel like it was supposed to be like a song from the heart, and then it was like, dun, 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 you know, like it was real sad.
Right.
And I was like, what happened?
Amber?
A lot of feelings.
Girl, this movie is a glittery train bomb of death riding off a cliff, and it like just keeps going, and you can't stop watching because you're like, I mean, it's got to turn the corner eventually. And you're like, I mean, at the very least, we're going to see All I Want for Christmas Is You, right?
Yeah, or
and you
something.
just keep going, and you just keep going, and it doesn't happen, and you finish, and you go, I mean, this is worse than Glitter. And then you're like, was it worse than Glitter? And then you still think, well, maybe it was. And then you debate whether or not this movie was worse than the other Mariah Carey movies. And it's just like a bad road to go down. That being said, I feel like I want to watch it again because I just need to know, like, was it as bad as I remember?
It is.
Or like, is it better than I remember?
No.
I watched it today for a little bit and fast forwarded through some stuff, but I was like, whoa, I don't understand this movie at all. Because in my notes I wrote like ... like that's just, and then I was like giving crowns to all these movies just in case, and this has like 7 question marks crowns. Like I don't even know. And I know
it's just
but
such
Lacey
a strange movie.
It really is.
Like
so
Lacey Chabert
weird.
was good, and then the rest of it was like, that was an explosion.
I don't know. Just that whole daughter thing was just like, and it's so long. That song she sings is super long. What is going on? But anyway, so Hallmark and Jess, Mark has it at number 5, and and then Jess has it at 6, and I have this at number 12. It's my least favorite. Emma, what about you?
I have it at 10 because I at least have fun being like, what is happening?
Fair enough.
So there's that.
Amber?
I have it at 11.
Okay, good. All right, this is good. Okay, so next we have A Wish for Christmas. This is about a girl who is just too what's the word? She's too much of a pushover. Lacey Chabert stars this girl is too much of a pushover at work, and so people are getting the stuff that she should get, the promotions that she should get. So there's a Santa there. She makes a wish that she will be able to speak her mind and be confident. It makes a wish to be confident, and Santa, as he does often, he grants her wish. And then she ends up basically like telling everybody at the office and at work, like everything that needs to be said, but she's usually too much of a pushover to say. And Paul Green is in it. He's super charming. I actually thought they had pretty good chemistry. Andrea Brooks is in it as her friend. I liked them. It's directed by Christy Wolf. I think she did a pretty good job. Some of the stuff with like him and his family was a little heavy-handed, I thought. But overall, I enjoyed watching this quite a bit. I liked it. Amber?
This one's pretty fun, but it's kind of just neutral for me. Like, I don't know. There was 2. I mean, Lacey Chabert was so pregnant in this movie. I'm surprised she didn't give birth on set. And like, they should have given a supporting award for best handbag to all of the giant bags she was carrying in front of her. For me, honestly, this movie, it was so distracting.
Yeah.
And like, I know she's hashtag Lacey Chabert. And I know that they like plan these movies in advance or whatever, but like, this is not a series where you can't recast someone. And I know Hallmark's like family oriented, but I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Paul Green's not going to start dating a super pregnant Lacey Chabert in this movie. And you can't pretend like he didn't notice that she was super pregnant. So it was just too much for me. It did bring it down. It wasn't like the worst. It was fine. But if like, it was too much handbag baby bump coverage.
Emma?
I had no idea she was pregnant in this movie.
What?
I'm kidding.
How is that possible? Oh, you're kidding.
I'm kidding.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it was so obvious. Was that good acting? Oh my gosh, I should get an award. Okay, but I really like this movie a lot, and like, I really liked their chemistry. I really like Paul Green. I liked how she was standing up for herself. I rewatch this every time. And my mom is always like, oh, I just love when she stands up for herself. So I just love watching that part because it makes you think of my mom. And I just really like it. And I wasn't expecting for them to run into his family. Like, that was a surprise for me. And I did enjoy that. So I just really like this movie. And I didn't care that she was pregnant because I was pregnant at the same time as her.
Oh, perfect.
And I'd like to still be in the movie Amber if I were casted in it.
It's just distracting.
I hope they wouldn't give me the boot.
I mean, like, I know, like, what I'm just saying, like,
I know.
It wasn't distracting for me, I must say.
Rachel, you don't even notice. You didn't even notice. Did you notice?
No. I never notice if people are pregnant. Like, I have like pregnancy blinders, evidently. I don't know if it's just growing up, my mom was pregnant a lot. I don't know what it is.
Rachel, spoiler alert. If they're ever carrying a 75-gallon purse, they're pregnant, hiding a baby.
Right.
If you never see them standing,
like
pregnant.
Yeah.
If they're just behind desks the whole time, pregnant.
I just get so caught up in the magic of it all. I don't know where your head is at, but when I watch
the magic of Houdini hiding her belly.
Yeah, I just caught up in the story about her getting her wish granted. No, but I have this at number 8.
Oh,
and then they. Mark has from Hallmark and Jess has it also at has it at 7, and Jess has it at 7 also, both of them. So Emma, what about you?
3.
Nice. Okay, great.
Yeah, I like it.
And Amber?
I have it at 8.
Oh, perfect. Same with me.
Whoa, Emma's like, whoa.
All right, now we're getting into last year. This is 2017. She had 3 movies last year. And so we're going to talk about Moonlight in Vermont. And this is a pretty classic trope as far as Hallmark movies, but I think it's executed super well with the girl from the city coming back to the country. And she meets up. It's not her high school boyfriend, but it's just the guy who works at her father's inn, bed and breakfast, whatever. And Karl Marx, and her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend ends up showing up there, so she gets him to gets Carlos to pretend that they are that they are dating and they're engaged, the fake fiance, total thing. And it's really cute. And Jason Sudeikis is in it, and Fiona Vroom, I think. And they are sort of the second coupling. It's very cute. And I like the fact that they actually gave a reason of why she was in the city, because of her connection with her mom. They actually gave a reason for her conflict with her dad. I thought that was actually really well done. I think this is a very, very good Hallmark movie, in my opinion. What about you, Emma?
I have written down fine.
Mhm.
I I honestly just thought it was fine. The next day, or maybe a couple of days later, I went to write down my notes and I couldn't remember anything in the movie whatsoever, which is not a good sign. But I will say that I did rewatch, I kind of fast forwarded through it a second time, and the dance scene. I do remember that when he started singing to her when they were dancing, I kind of melted. So that does push this movie up just based on that scene alone. And I didn't hate it. It was just fine.
Fair enough. Amber?
There are not words in the English dictionary to describe how much I love this movie, but I will just use Spanish in honor of Emma and say it was muy bueno.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's a movie with a liar who lies about the thing. There's a fake relationship. There's a subplot where the sub characters are like getting their own little love story. She learns that the city is like, it's not bad, but like, she's like, oh, but there's things outside of the city. And Carlo Marx is just like so handsome and charming, and they like have cute little folksy things, and they're like, ha 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 ha. Yeah. And like her ex-boyfriend is like a jerk and so great, and she even has like the Elwoods of like, I thought you were proposing, but like, nope, bye. Amazing. So great. I love everything about this movie. They have shenanigans where they go and make some guy a fence. They literally go fence building.
I love all the stuff with that.
Okay, and not to mention the part where her shoes get stuck in the mud and then he just like carries her off. It's amazing. It's so good.
It's such a good example it's such a good example to me that you don't have to be original to make a good movie. People think, oh, in fact, some of the most original movies are some of the most terrible movies ever made. But you have to know what you're making and execute it well. That's the key. And whether it's a new idea or a formula film, because this is all stuff we've seen a million times, but they execute it so well, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I agree with you completely. I have it at number 2 in my ranking. So, Amber, what about you?
Number 1.
Nice. Okay. And Emma?
Well, I mean, I have it at number 6. Like, I didn't hate it. It was just fine for me. But I'm telling you, that one dancing scene. Whew.
Emma, I think you need to rewatch it when you're not on pain medicine.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, I watched this a long time ago, and I've only been on ibuprofen, really.
Okay, you need to watch it now that you are more experienced in the ways of Hallmark.
That's okay. It's okay. 6 is perfectly respectable.
A month ago. What are you talking about?
We all like different stuff. That's perfectly fine in different degrees. Anyway, so let's talk about All of My Heart in Love. This was the Herculean effort of the Twittersphere to get this movie made. This movie was eagerly anticipated by many because we all liked the first All of My Heart very much. And basically it has them back together, or it has them together, and they are having their first year as being this engaged couple. They're trying to plan their wedding, but he ends up getting this offer to go and work for his old firm, and she's still doing her business and trying to get the inn going, and they have a few first kind of clients. There's this blogger who is there, and the blogger kind of has this little relationship with the handyman guy, and and they end up having conflict because you kind of have the free-spirited her and you have the more, business him, and they have conflict and whatever. I think that I liked this better than Amber. I didn't think it was terrible. I thought that they tried at least to explore some deeper issues that you'd have in any relationship. Like, those problems don't go away just because you're engaged. And but I think that she definitely way overreacted, and her character was too unlikable. So I do agree, but I don't think it was terrible. I think that I thought that there were cute moments between the different guests, and you have a cute little side relationship that I enjoyed. And I thought that they still have great chemistry between the two of them. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So, Emma?
I thought this one was kind of stressful.
Uh-huh.
And let's not let them forget or let them get away with a completely different inn, which was painted blue. And they made a big deal about the first movie about, no, we're not going to have it blue. So they got to have it green. Sorry, I watched these like back to back.
Yeah.
But I was just stressed out. I understand like having issues like as your relationship progresses, but I didn't see like their chemistry as much in this movie, which made the first movie so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like they weren't like flirting all the time. It was more like, oh, why aren't you here? And then like there's just this one character whose sole purpose in the movie is being, where's Brian? Like I really do not think that the tenants would care that much where he was.
Mm-hmm.
Like do people care that much when they go to a bed and breakfast where the owners are constantly?
I mean, like, I literally went to dinner the other night, and halfway through our meal, our waiter literally disappeared, and we got a new waitress. And we weren't like, hey, what happened to our guy? We were just like, I guess he left, bye. Like, nobody cares about their service people. Like, we just assume they have lives and reasons. Like,
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
And he was trying to make money for them. Like, he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was just...
She definitely way overreacted. There's no doubt about it. And her character did come on likable. Sure. All right, Amber.
I was just really disappointed.
What did you think?
I don't know what else I can say that I haven't already said. Lacey Chabert's character was unlikable. They reused the exact same plots from the first movie, and their characters didn't grow or progress from the first movie. They just made the exact same mistakes and choices that they made in the last movie, which means they can make a third one that's the exact same. And nothing happened, and this movie was useless and terrible and the worst thing that's ever happened to television.
So I have this ranked at number 9. What are you, Emma? Oh, you have 9
number
as well?
9.
Interesting. I obviously have it at 12.
What?
Oh.
You guys are stressing me out with your 12 choices.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
I know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what you're going to put as 12, but...
You know.
Oh, we didn't already... I thought, for some reason, I was thinking you had Christmas Melody at 12.
No, that was 10, because at least I could be like, what? And
oh, I know what you have at 12. It's my 11. Okay, here we go. All right, next we have The Sweetest Christmas. And this, Lacey Chabert plays this baker who has like, there's this gingerbread competition with the queen of gingerbread is there, the godmother of gingerbread. And she ends up using the oven. She gets broken up at the beginning. She ends up using the oven of her old flame. And honestly, I've like completely this movie is like completely forgettable to me. I'm having a hard time even remembering anything at all as I'm talking about it. But Amber, what do you think of it?
I like this movie pretty well enough. It's kind of middle of the road for me, but not like slightly more than middle of the road.
Uh-huh.
It's bumped up by how much I love Jonathan Adams and their whole thing. Her kid was really cute. They had a good fun, like, oops, I tripped off a ladder moment. Which, as you know, is a really good thing if you can successfully pull it off. And I think they kind of did. And I really love Lane Edwards as like her weird boyfriend boss guy. Like, he was fun. So I like it well enough. It's not the best, but it's fine. Middle of the road.
Mm-hmm. Emma?
I feel the same way. I was fine with it overall. And I mean, Jonathan Adams just made this movie for me. I will have to say my hashtag Jonathan Adams for Santa 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Still pushing for that. No one hears me. But I think I had preconceived notions that this would be like a Food Network competition where she would go somewhere and like have this huge gingerbread contest and it'd be like the whole movie, like they'd be shooting a show. I don't know. So I was disappointed, but that was my fault. But I mean, it was fine. Like I didn't hate it. I mean, I actually have it at number 5, so
yeah,
I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Well, my other problem with this movie is I think that her and Lee Coco, I don't think have very good chemistry, and I think he's kind of whiny. And like, I honestly think like after the initial breakup, like I think that her ex actually tries harder, and like I'm not to say they have chemistry, but he like gets this woman to like help her, and like there's this whole gingerbread stuff, and I don't know. So like that's the worst thing that a romantic comedy, if the couple doesn't have chemistry, that's like the worst thing for me. So I this to me was just completely forgettable, and they didn't have chemistry, so I didn't really like it. I have it at number 10.
Okay.
Whoa.
What about you, Amber?
I have it at 6.
There you go. Great. This one was from this year, My Secret Valentine. And supposedly Lacey Chabert plays this woman who goes back to her family vineyard. And it's also like has sort of a housing thing anyway. And there is this company that's there that wants to buy the vineyard, and they've sent Andrew Walker as their representative, and she hates him from the very beginning. But there is this chalkboard in one of the rentals, and they start writing to each other notes or whatever, and they were supposedly trying to be You've Got Mail, and it was not. It very much frustrated me. But yeah, Amber, what did you think?
So this movie was, Lacey Chabert was the worst, except for maybe the Lacey Chabert from All of My Heart in Love, but maybe worse. It's like a toss-up between which Lacey Chabert is my least favorite Lacey Chabert of all time. And she's just the whole movie is basically her being a brat, and not telling everyone. But Andrew Walker is so amazing in this movie that it bumps it up a little bit, because his character literally is like perfect and wonderful, and Andrew Walker.
But I don't know what's worse. Is it worse to waste a great Andrew Walker performance, or is it or worse to just be flat out mediocre?
I mean, I think it's worse to remake your exact movie shot for shot and then not improve on it and just be terrible. Right. My ranking says that.
Yeah. So, Emma, let's have it. What do you think?
Well, okay. So I was sitting there watching a movie, and I see a preview for Countdown to Valentine's Day, and I see Lacey Chabert and Andrew Walker, and I about fell out of my chair. I couldn't tweet fast enough at how excited I was for it. Okay. Yeah. I was just about to lose my mind. And then I got pushed off a building. I just like, I was like seething. Like, I was just so upset because Lacey Chabert wasn't likable, and I obviously like her. I mean, I chose her to watch 12 of her movies and rank them. Okay. Yeah. And they just made her so unlikable, and I tried to recap it, and the whole thing was ranting. Like, just ranting about how terrible everyone was, except for Andrew Walker, obviously. But, like, he wasn't mean. Like, he was, like, really nice the whole time. He was just doing his job. He wasn't, like, really annoying. You know, like, everything was, like, flirty. But she was like, oh, he's the worst guy ever. And then,
like, when she writes down, like, on the chalkboard, like, I have this horrible person at work. And you're just like, what? He literally just got your big sale. He was putting on accents and, like, what on earth? Like, I agree with you. I was really mad.
And they set her up as a bad person because her dad was like, I really need you to come home and I need to talk to you for a couple days. And she's like, I'm like really busy. I don't think I should. If my dad's like, call me, I'm like, What do you need to tell me?
Right.
Oh my gosh. And like, didn't even care. I need you to come home for a couple of days to tell you something.
I'm like, oh, so you're dying? Yeah, I'm there
Right.
20 minutes ago.
I'm like, no, you tell me right now. Like, tell me on the phone. I don't even care.
Yeah.
So that set her up as just the worst. And I'm so sad. That movie could have been great.
Yes. And like him buying the winery is like a blessing. Like this is like basically setting up her dad for like retirement. It's going to be great. And like she's just so selfish. And it was very frustrating. I agree with you 100%. So, all right. So where do you have My Secret Valentine ranked, Emma? We know.
What is 12
for the
in
record.
Spanish?
I don't know.
I don't either. It's 12. The bottom.
12. Amber? Oh, sorry.
I have this at 10.
10. Okay.
And it's boosted up because Andrew Walker's character is so great.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that, but
I can understand that. I have it at 11. So there you go. So I will read the list from Hallmark and Jess real quick. And let me just reminder, check out their podcast. It's all Lacey Chabert all the time. So Mark, his list is number 1, Sweetest Christmas. Number 2, A Royal Christmas. Number 3, Mean Girls. Number 4, Matchmaker Santa. Number 5, A Christmas Melody. Number 6, The Tree That Saved Christmas. Number 7, Wish for Christmas. Number 8, Family for Christmas. And number 9, Black Christmas. So, and then Jess says Matchmaker Santa is number 1. Number 2, Mean Girls. Number 3, The Tree That Saved Christmas. She said, she added some commentary and said that she thought their relationships were so insane that I kind of enjoyed it. So there you go. Then she has, then she has for 4, Sweetest Christmas. 5, A Royal Christmas. 6, Christmas Melody. 7, A Wish for Christmas. She would not watch it again. 8, Family for Christmas. Would not watch it again. And Black Christmas, she says, makes me wish I was dead. So, there you go. So, all right. And I'll go over my list. So we have my list. I have Elevator Girl at number 1, Moonlight in Vermont at number 2, Family for Christmas at number 3, All of My Heart at 4, Matchmaker Santa at 5, Color of Rain at 6, A Royal Christmas at 7, A Wish for Christmas at 8, All of My Heart and Love at 9, The Sweetest Christmas at 10, My Secret Valentine at 11, and A Christmas Melody at 12. So Emma, why don't you go over your list?
Okay, number 1 is Matchmaker Santa. 2 is All of My Heart. 3 is A Wish for Christmas. 4 is A Family for Christmas. 5 is Sweetest Christmas. 6 is Moonlight in Vermont. 7 is Royal Christmas. 8, Color of Rain. 9, All of My Heart in Love. 10, A Christmas Melody. 11, Elevator Girl. And 12 is My Sweetest Valentine. My Secret Valentine. I can't even get the name right.
All right, Amber, let us hear your list.
So my list goes with number 1, Moonlight in Vermont, then Matchmaker Santa, Family for Christmas, Elevator Girl, All of My Heart, The Sweetest Christmas, A Royal Christmas, A Wish for Christmas, The Color of Rain, My Secret Valentine, A Christmas Melody, and All of My Heart, the terrible sequel, In Love, Yeah Right, is at number 12.
All right, sounds good. Great. Well, this was really fun. I really enjoyed talking and ranking Lacey Chabert movies with you guys. Well, it'd be very interesting to see where the Love on Safari, where it ends up in our ranking.
Oh, I hope that's so good.
I hope so too. If you guys have Hallmark actors or actresses that you would like us to do rankings, please let us know in the comments or on Twitter. We would love to know your suggestions. And so thanks so much, Emma, for coming on and doing this with us. This was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
How can people find you?
On Twitter and Instagram, I am at the Hallmark, and then I am thehallmark.com, and that's where you can find my recaps and reviews of Hallmark movies.
And they're awesome. So you definitely want to follow Emma for sure.
Thank you so much.
And Amber, where can people find you?
As always, I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Awesome. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and on YouTube. Check that out. Would really love for you to subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed to us, and we can find us wherever you can find podcasts, whether on iTunes or on Stitcher or wherever. We'd love to get your reviews on iTunes and your ratings. And also make sure you're following us on social media at Hallmarkies Pod on Instagram and Twitter. So we'd love to hear your feedback and your thoughts. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.